It's been a while since I've reviewed one of these animated shorts / pilots that are hosted on YouTube, but if I am going to start reviewing them again, this short is definitely the place to start. As the title suggests, I'm going to be reviewing the pilot for a show called 12 Forever, created by Julia Vickerman. It was announced very recently that this series was actually picked up by Netflix, which means coming in 2019 we will be seeing a full season of the show all at once. As per Netflix's usual methodology for releasing shows, we will likely see a revamped and longer version of this pilot episode as well as an entire season of these kinds of antics, coupled with the fact that this is one of those shorts that people have been asking me to review, and of course I couldn't help but give it a look. 12 Forever is a story of a girl named Reggie and her friend Shane. Reggie is 12 years old. She's kind of at that age where she will soon be expected to mature as a human being, physically and mentally. And so at school she is antagonized for still being immature. Her friend Shane is a bit more mature than she is, and is by far the more reasonable of the two characters, but he likes Reggie for who she is and seems to feel that she should be allowed to be herself. But that's not all that this short is about. Only a short time into the runtime of the pilot, we learn that Reggie has a magical key, which can turn any door into a realm that exists within her subconscious, where she can create entire worlds. While within this make-believe world, she dons a set of powered armor which resembles extreme sports gear, and with the assistance of her creations, she can manifest various different weapons. While he is there with her, Shane gains the ability, with Reggie's help, to take on new forms. They have friends in this place as well as a villain that they fight, and objects from Reggie's subconscious can be taken back into the real world and still have an effect there. This pilot ends with what is effectively the message that while Reggie shouldn't be expected to grow up completely, it couldn't hurt for her to think things through a little bit more and listen to her friends when they offer her advice. There's not much point to going into more detail than that. You should just go watch the short. It's only about 8 minutes long. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed the premise of this. The pilot itself I thought was a little lackluster. I thought it could have been polished up a little bit better in a couple of places, but the premise alone is super interesting. This fictional world is built very deliberately to offer as many storytelling possibilities as possible. It reminded me of another show I used to watch when I was younger, a show called Chalk Zone, which had a very similar premise. The main character could enter a world where he could affect the contents, but it still had its own rules that had to be followed. That series offered a very similar sort of variety of storytelling possibilities, and I enjoyed it immensely during its time on the air. I'm expecting, just based on the premise of this show alone, that it's going to be something similar, and that I'm going to enjoy it in a similar vein. It also kind of had this sort of mid-90s vibe to it, which is a callback that I can really get behind. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing more of that. At the end of the day, I can certainly understand why this pilot was picked up for a full series. And I'm not going to lie, but after its recent treatment of some of its better shows, I'm pretty happy that it wasn't picked up by Cartoon Network. Netflix is not by any means perfect, but at least they seem to have some respect for the properties that they own. If you've not watched this pilot yet, make sure that you do, and expect a full review of the first season of this show once it drops. On the other hand, if you have already seen 12 Forever, then tell me, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.